On the Mainly Golf Show, that was easy done. I'm Jack Milner, joined by only one half of the Sticky Bandits, and this week
Best
Hep
one.
Stato, who's yet to have a winner in 63 podcasts, is going to have to carry the fort. Marv is otherwise disposed of. He's probably refreshing meme coin prices. Don't bother Marv, bad day. But we're here on the eve of another sensational Scottie Scheffler success. He makes it look so easy, doesn't he? But at least some golfers will have a chance this week with no Scottie at Torrey Pines this week. However, there is a certain five-time major winner in the form of Brooks Koepka making his return to the PGA Tour. He's paid his fines, he's paid his dues, and he is now back, as is Patrick Reed. Breaking news this afternoon with Patrick Reed, who won the Dubai Desert Classic at Sunday on the DP World Tour. He's going to be there anyway because he's an honorary lifetime member. But Mr. Hep, very big news in the world of it's not really transfer season, it's not deadline day, but Brooks Koepka, a very big get for the PGA Tour.
Yeah, big name. I think he maybe passed. I don't know. Maybe he just jacked it in for Liv, and I think Brooks is one you can give him a bit of slack for going to Liv because he was so injured, and it was free 50 million or whatever he's got paid. So I yeah, and now maybe he's realised that he isn't as injured. He's a bit back, but he's not had a good showing for 3 years. He's not done anything in any majors. He's not really competed for many live titles. I don't know even if he won a live event. So I'm not expecting him to make great waves on the PJ Tour when he comes back. But yeah, he's a big name to for them to get back. Like he's one of the top five live they could steal to get back. I don't know. Maybe it's just the maybe he didn't want to do. I was going to say maybe he wasn't happy with the move to 72 holes on live, but obviously back to the PGA, he's played 72 holes anyway. So um,
I think he was always I never saw Brooks as a long-term kind of um part of the quote unquote project and the way he kind of measured himself and got himself right for the big day, as it were, he probably should have won the Masters in, was it 2023 against John Ram? Was it 2 years ago when Ram won the Masters?
uh, well, no, it was McElroy, then Scheffler, then Ramsden, three Masters ago.
Okay, but Brooks was, I think Brooks was too clear at one point with nine to play against Rambo and kind of deteriorated on the back nine. And that was kind of the story of his last few years. As you mentioned, he struggled with a big wrist injury. Um, but if a fully fit Brooks Koepka, first of all, from a commercial perspective, he's a five-time major winner. He's a name where a lot of people will at least have name recognition of him on a tour where you're really struggling in terms of the top side of things. If you take out a Rory, a Scheffler, Xander's had a poor year. You- would casual people know Colin Mulcahy's, Patrick Cantley. If you're interested in the Ryder Cup, perhaps, but Brooks has done it at the top table of golf, and yeah, it's 70 to 1. Qualified's first five places this week. I don't know whether it would be suited by Torrey Pines. In my head, the Farmers Insurance Open always kind of suited big hitters, but if you look through previous winners, probably not the case. Harris English isn't the biggest. Jason Day, thinking, okay, Mark Leishman hits it quite, but Justin Rose, it's more. Would you say it's more of a driving accuracy and find fairways? Don't necessarily have to hit it, you know, smash it off the tee, but find fairways, find greens, make it simple.
Yeah, I think you've got to be straight. Like I think you summed it up perfectly. Like it is sort of known as being a bit of a bomber's course and tough, but yeah, I think accuracy. You got to have some length. You can't be Brian Harmon, but you've got to have the accuracy to go along with it. It's not just a pog hitter, like hit it wherever you want, just as far down. Um,
And
yeah,
interesting enough, looking at, I mean, I remember watching again, I don't know half the time. I'm pretty sure I backed Harris English during the final round last year because he was kind of the only steady one. There's a lot of kind of rookies. You got a lot of kind of novices who got their toe card around October, November. They play that and the wraparound series, and then a lot of them out early, aren't they? Whereas a lot of like the Schefflers and McIlroys, they're going to pick and choose their first few tournaments of the year and try to peak for the Players and the Masters. And it's a really kind of cluttered leaderboard, but they all struggled. I think the win got up in the final round, and Harris English pretty much just parred his way through, posted a score and won by a shot. But previously, they were looking at scores in the low mid 60s, the first few rounds. The win gets up on that West Coast, and you're going to really struggle. In terms of the market this week, I think Xander, you mentioned people coming back. Xander Schauffele is back, probably with a point to prove. Likewise, you'd say his biggest market rival in Ludwig Ebert. You've always been a very big proponent of the Swede. He really struggled last year, but I think the Ryder Cup and then I think he played well in a couple of DP World Tour events afterwards. Probably comes back here with a bit more of a, I don't want to say clean slate, but pressure's probably off now for him after. If you think you're building all the way to a European Ryder Cup challenge in New York and you're playing shit all year, I imagine that's a bit of a weight on your shoulders for a young lad. You did it, and now, okay, we've got 2 years now. We're playing with house money as it is.
Yeah, you hope so. Obviously the third time he's seen this course now, so bit more used to it every single time. He definitely seems like a Torrey Pines winner. In his career, you think he'll win this place, yeah, win this once.
Where did he
Uh,
win last year? Was it the Arnold Palmer he won?
I've got no
I
idea.
think he won. I think he was. I think it was the Arnold Palmer, and that was early in the season, wasn't it? And that was I think he shot like 64 in the final round, but he was fantastic off the tee. I think he birdied like 16, 17 to really kind of seal the
He won
deal.
the Genesis. Is that the one
It
that's
might be the Genesis, but he was one of those early in the season, and the way he kind of drove the ball, it's like, okay, I know you've always been a big fan of his, but I've always been skeptical. And I was like, okay, this kid is pretty good. So, um, it just struggled. Would you have any concerns of, excuse me, like where Xander really? I mean, Xander missed the Tour Championship for I think the first year in a decade. Would you be with or against Xander this season?
I mean, I don't think it can be as bad as last season. I don't think he's going to win two majors again, though. But
Got a
I'd
kid
say
now
he's
as well.
probably,
Hep. Trust me, that changes things.
well, maybe just he's happy to be away, and I think he'd be closer to the good Xander of 2 years ago rather than the disappointing Xander of last season. But yeah, and just Ulberg did withdraw last week, midway through round two with an illness. So I assume that has just a stomach bug or something that's passed. But yeah, he didn't. He wasn't setting the world alight on round one either. But,
Yeah. I don't think he necessarily had to carry on playing, especially if you know you've got a little bit of excuse me, a twinge. The Scandies have got, we mentioned Aberg, the Scandies have got a good record. Nikolai Højgaard, he was pretty
yeah,
much the favourite all throughout the back line when Matthew Pavon won here in 2024. He's been very well backed already. He's now best price 45 to 1 with five places. You get, I think, 35 40s with six. Um, and Sati Tequila's been a big market mover. He's 66s from 80s. Tequila is
yeah,
so
he was really down there till last week. He was in like the 90s or something. I think last week, him in like in the Finau zone of people to start a form. But I think he ended
good.
up fifth
He
last
wouldn't be.
week or something.
I tell you a couple of Danes to keep an eye on. Thorbjorn Olesen, who's played really well last week. I think he finished T20. He's on the 80s 1 mark with six places, and then Rasmus Nygaard Peterson, who hits it a mile off the tee. He finished in the top 10 on the DP World Tour last year to earn his PGA Tour card. He played really well around Wentworth. I think he missed out by a shot in the end, though. He's definitely top two, three. He's 85 to 1 with six places if you can get on in a couple of places. But Hep, have you scoured the market? Have you found any bit of value for us?
Oh, I've been scouring. I'll start with the long shot. I'm going to go for the young Australian Carl Phillips. You get 110s at 365. There's
Who?
106 out there at Unibet. Phillips, Vilips.
Never heard of this
Young
guy. Who
kid.
is he?
I think he nearly won, or he did win on tour last year. Just one of these like new first year. Last year was his first year on tour.
Okay.
Um, Big hitter, hits it straight. Led the field in approach last week in his T18th at the American Express. Um, Stooling around the green. Well, not stooling around the green, but lost a little bit of. Actually, no, that was just round four here. He led the field, but yeah, he's a strong. Yeah, getting off the tee, getting approach, getting put in, lost around the green last week. 110s. I think he's a decent shout for a place finish at some long odds. 110s for five places. It's
We
going to be
put up Hep and I have we have a one and done, which I think I put up Ryan Gerard last week. He's around the 75 to 1 mark. Finished ended up T2 behind Scottie, who was obviously in a different class. I think he'll go well again this week. The price has gone him. He's on 28 to 1. It's a stronger field. You can't back him in that price, but I'd be keen to keep an eye on him. I think this week's more of a watching brief, isn't it? I think Sam Stevens is 45 to 1. That's insane how short he is in a strong field. But people who are again making their debut with their tour card, Rasmus Højgaard, first time with an actual tour card. I think Rasmus, he's got all the talent in the world. It's just if he can put four consistent rounds together. Justin Rose is a former winner. He's PGA Tour. He's Ryder Cup winning colleague. He's 55 to 1, probably too big for Rosie. And Marco Penge, who finished second on the race to Dubai last year behind Rory McIlroy, he's 71. He hits it a big way off the tee. Um, and he's got a good short game. Really interesting. A lot of it is just kind of a watching brief this week. You can scroll down and make arguments for loads of big prices.
yeah, some really
Bezuidenhout, Christian Bezuidenhout. Betty's probably obviously one of my players to follow. I'm off the Betty hype trip, but 100 to 1, probably too big. You know, you Billy Horschel, he has got the game for Tory, maybe not long enough, but 120 to 1. And I can't believe Tony Finau is 125 to 1.
yeah. Like Figala, like him, Figala, and there was somebody else that were maybe Eric Cole or somebody that were you know never see these prices. No, Tom Kim, that was it. Tom Kim again,
151
125
Tom
to
Kim.
one.
Yeah,
Like
I'm scrolling through going, I don't think he like another one, Sam Valimaki, who's probably overlooked because he's probably not a big enough name on the PGA Tour yet. He is a winner.
he
He's
does
a
well on
big
bottom
hitter.
courses.
And again,
I mean,
after
he's
winning
top
last
10
year and
so much recently.
getting his toe card, yeah, I think he's. I don't know whether the markets kind of just factor into the idea that you're not a big enough name.
Yeah,
Another one, yeah, as you know well, know Hep. I'll never forget Stephen Yeager for us being balls deep in
neither were the one lister. Like we talk about him more than
from
anybody
Scottie
else.
Scheffler winning in Houston 3 years ago. But Stephen Yeager should not be 200 to 1. No, I could not bring myself to back him, but if you were even like, potentially spread betting, another one I'd throw in there, Emiliano Grillo is 250 to 1. Um, should have won last year on tour, lost the playoff, having been in pretty commanding position, but is it just a case of just keep an eye out, make notes? I think it's a
Plug
long
on.
season ahead.
He won
If
this
you
two
are
years ago,
nerds on watching as much
275.
golf as we do, and we'll be on Shot Tracker. Um,
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
think.
glad Shot Tracker's back. Just
Yeah, for me, this is the start of the season. Like the Sony is just too late at night in Hawaii. The American Express is really annoying with two courses not having shots tracker. And I know one of these courses I think still doesn't have shots tracker for Tory, but the American
the amount of
Express
money
is
that
just
PGA Tour
slog.
makes, well, you can shot,
Yeah, it's
you get
just
the day around two
the
courses.
slog to get through that American Express, and then right now we can actually have sort of shot tracker. All afternoon as soon as it gets to 4 o'clock, golf goes on, work slows down, and
Yeah,
from
the
Thursday
CEO
morning.
slot back
Like,
today.
this fucking Mr. 10 foot.
It's one of those where you see he said it's a 5 foot, and in my head you've already given him.
Oh,
Uh,
you gotta bank
and
that.
then when he
Yeah.
misses, uh, just scrolling down even more. Eric Van, is any water on Torrey Pines? I think there is, isn't there?
Yeah, this yeah.
So cross out Eric Van Rooyen. Adam Svensson's a Canadian who's will throw in the odd top 10. If you can get a bit of 250s Adam Svensson and 10 places, then there are
What, like
plenty.
Camille Vegas is back to 1,000. It's like, oh,
You're gonna have to get that 365 account open just for that, surely.
yeah, one day.
Never.
Right,
Uh,
what are you actually going for then with all your
of my 10-point stake, I really want to put Brooks up and I really want to put Rose up, but I just I can't bring myself to do it. The two I'm going to stick, it's very boring. Cameron Young, who had a fantastic 3 days at the Ryder Cup. Um, I think he's good mates with Brooks Koepka as well. He will love the fact he's kind of gone completely unnoticed this week on his return. He's 22 to 1
yeah.
with one, two, three, four, five, six places. His profile is absolutely perfect for Torrey Pines. It was probably despite his defeat, it was probably career-making performance for him, given the fact that I know he's had a few near misses in majors. He's never had that putt to win a major, or he's got 5 foot to post a score. He's always been chasing and has kind of like how Rory falls into a lot of top five positions. So Cam Young for me and Hideki again. I don't know that has he win around here. He's definitely a runner up around here before. Uh, Am I just talking complete bollocks? Hideki isn't he? He's had a couple of top fives around here. Um, Hideki in one of these courses in my head, ball strikers course. Hideki could easily open with 64, 64, still be disgusted by his performance and win by 5. Or he could easily, 72, 72 miss the call. But the prices, I'll keep an eye on a lot of long shots, but for me it's 30 to 1 Hideki, 2 points each way, quarter of the odds first five, and 3 points each way. Cameron Young, the big hit in New Yorker at 22 to 1 and six places.
So yeah, as I mentioned, I'm gonna have two each way on Phillips at 110s. And my shorter odd guy, I'm gonna go Jason Day. Had a really strong Sunday
Former
to
winner.
finish T2, two times former winner around this place.
You said the word
Um,
jewel head, not two times. Good grammar.
by previous winner around this place.
Ed,
Yeah,
no, I do have
gain
the memory
strokes
of this in
across the board.
2018. Alex Noren
So,
got completely fucked out of this in 2018. That was brutal.
so yeah, I think if the 100 pick came down to me, I think I would have gone with Day this week. So I'll make him my second pick for yeah, three each way at 30s, 5 places.
Jason Day, Mr. Phillips. If you ever
Two
get a chance,
Aussies, two Aussies
go
for me.
go back and watch the 2018 end to the Farmers Insurance Authority. I'm pretty sure JB Holmes completely stuffs Alex Noren because
Oh, was that one? Yeah.
where he took about 9 minutes to take the shot, hoping that it was play was going to get abandoned. And by the time it came through, I think Noren hit his second shot into the water. He was just so fucked off. And I think I in the collective golf world just find it what a twat. And I had no idea what's happened to JB Holmes. But watching that in real time, the kin and Jason Day was so kind of apologetic, and you realize in that moment, like Jason Day's probably a pretty nice guy because he felt that he'd been put in such an awkward position because JB Holmes was trying to, I think he was
Yeah.
trying to like get one of them to screw, wasn't it? So he's thinking he's going to get up in the prize money. Um, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
brutal.
that's
But yeah, people are mean. Anyway, give us your two picks again, please.
it turns out it's a double Aussie pick for me. Day and Phillips. One at
And an
Phillips.
Ashes winter as well. Disgraceful.
I'm sorry, fucking Aussies. But yeah, one young, one old, one low odds, one high odds. We'll
Dave Phillips
sing Waltzing
for Mr.
Matilda
Hep.
down in South California.
He's hoping that the lads from Down Under strike. I'm hoping that a bit of experience pays dividend. Cameron Young and Hideki Matsuyama to bring it home for the old boys around Torrey Pines. I've been Mr. Twig, and he's been Mr. Hep, and we will see you all very soon. ta